Do you want to explain to the audience who you are, or do you want me to? Me? This is my friend. You know him, and he knows you. He's the neuron. He's the fundamental unit of the brain and the nervous system. He has many responsibilities, some of which include receiving sensory input, sending motor commands to our muscles, and much more. Fun fact, there's approximately 100 billion of you in the human body. Today I will be providing a brief introduction on neuroscience. We'll be starting with a diagram of the neuron, or a close-up of you. Starting with 1, these are the dendrites, which collect incoming information from other neurons or cells and then conduct electrical impulses toward the cell body. Speaking of the cell body, number 2 is just that. It's also known as the soma. This cell body is where the nucleus is located, just like any other cell. The nucleus, which holds the cell's genetic information and is the cell's control center, is number 8. Number 3 is the axon of the nerve cell, which carries the nerve impulses away from the cell body and towards another cell. Number 4 is probably too complex for a brief explanation, but number 5 is the axon terminal, the ends of axons that transmit messages to other cells via the use of neurotransmitters at synapses. Number 6 is the Schwann cell, which surrounds the neurons and keeps them alive. Number 7 is the myelin sheath, which protects the axons and helps speed nerve transmissions. Neurons communicate via a combination of electrical and chemical signals. The electrical signal, otherwise known as the action potential, is what transmits information through a neuron. However, to cross from one neuron to the next, this action potential must be converted into a chemical message. When an electrical signal arrives, the cell depolarizes, or becomes positively charged because of an influx of positive sodium ions. This depolarization triggers calcium ions to enter the cell, and if enough calcium ions enter the cell, neurotransmitters, otherwise known as chemical signals, that are packed into vesicles, get released by this presynaptic neuron into the synaptic cleft. The synaptic cleft is a very small space between neurons. The neurotransmitters then connect with receptors on the ends of the dendrites of the postsynaptic neuron, which then creates an electrical signal by opening or closing ion channels. And the process continues. This very complex transfer of information is the reason for many necessary bodily functions. For instance, the muscles only contract when an action potential travels along the nerves to the muscles. Another example is learning. When one learns and gains new skills, connections between neurons increase when 2 neurons fire together. Scientists are not certain about how learning works, though, just as a lot is still unknown about the neuron and the entire nervous system. Thanks for listening. See you next time.